One of the most common questions I get is what kind of materials I use. Now, every artist develops their own relationship with materials, so I don't want to give the sense that the way I'm using them is right, but this is a way that I've found that really works with the kinds of drawings I like to do and makes the drawing experience very enjoyable for me. So, I'm sure you've seen many artists who have a wide range of different hardnesses and softnesses of pencils that operate and give different darknesses and lightnesses of lines. But I like to do as much as I can with a single pencil. So the pencil that I tend to use the most is this Lyra Rembrandt Polycolor. And the reason that I've selected this pencil is because it's incredibly pressure sensitive. So what that means is just by altering the pressure, I can get these incredibly light, hazy, smoke-like strokes, and I can also get incredibly dark and sharp marks as well. So this pencil goes through a full range of values. So you can see it goes from extremely dark to the lightest possible kinds of strokes. So it's a really wonderful way to explore a full value range without having to reach into the pencil box to get a new pencil every time I want to explore a new value. Now, in addition to using these Lyra pencils in black, I also like to draw on colored paper, particularly with figures. So working on colored paper really gives a figure a warmth to it. But I don't like to use black so much on colored paper. I usually switch to a dark red pencil. So you can see here that this dark red does get dark when it needs to. Not as dark as the black, but it puts out a pretty nice dark, but again, can get very, very light. So again, this is a very pressure sensitive pencil. So drawing with red pencil on this warm colored paper really gives the figure a beautiful warmth to it, even though I'm still approaching it as an achromatic or monochromatic drawing. And finally, I also like to work on gray paper with either black or red pencil. So while you're working on this gray paper, again, you can let the paper do a lot of the work. So let me demonstrate a quick sphere drawing. So again, you can see here that I am using this pencil for the light setup, but also when I'm ready, I can still use it for shading as well. So again, it's an incredibly pressure-sensitive pencil. So this will take me through the underdrawing all the way through to a more finished piece. In addition to being pretty soft and creamy, these pencils also keep a decent tip on them, better than a lot of softer materials. So for me, they hit this perfect middle ground of smooth, creamy, soft, but not too soft, just hard enough to keep an edge. So one of the common questions I get is about erasers. So you'll note that I actually don't use erasers all that often. And it's not because I'm not making mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. But I try to make my mistakes as lightly as I possibly can so that they don't show up much in the drawing. So I tend to use my eraser not so much for correcting mistakes, but more for cleaning up a drawing, particularly if I ever want to use white pencil. Now, using white pencil is a great strategy on either colored or toned pieces of paper to really add a sense of drama and light to them. So I tend to take my kneaded eraser and clean out any section that I'm going to put white pencil. The reason is that if any pigment gets mixed in with a white pencil, it tends to get pretty muddy. So I would suggest cleaning off the area before applying white pencil. Once it's clean, the white pencil will go on nice and smoothly and can really have a lovely effect in your drawings. Now, there is no wrong way to select materials or to use your materials. Every artist has to develop their own relationship with their materials. So I just wanted to give you a sense of why I've selected the materials that I use and how I apply them to different kinds of paper in order to produce drawings that I'm really happy with and to create a drawing experience that's really enjoyable for me.